A powerful new alliance is forming in the skies, one that is capturing the attention of governments, industry leaders, and analysts around the globe. The stakes are high, and the implications reach far beyond the aviation sector. This emerging partnership threatens to reshape global aviation and technology for decades to come, potentially redrawing the map of international influence and competition. Russia has formally backed China's C919 passenger jet program, a move that's more than business. It's a bold geopolitical statement, signaling a new era of cooperation between two major powers. This partnership aims to break the dominance of Boeing and Airbus, challenging the West's grip on aerospace, and opening the door for new players to enter the market. For the EU, it's a direct threat to its industrial core and sanctions regime, raising concerns about economic security and the future of its own aviation giants. For the US, it signals the end of uncontested technological supremacy, forcing a re-evaluation of strategies in innovation, trade, and global leadership. The C919 is now at the heart of a strategic convergence that could alter the balance of power in trade, security, and diplomacy, influencing how nations interact and compete on the world stage. By collaborating on the jet's critical engine, China and Russia are pooling resources, expertise, and ambition to achieve technological independence and reduce reliance on Western suppliers. This isn't just about building planes, it's about forging a new world order, free from Western influence, and setting the stage for a future where power is more evenly distributed. Understanding this shift is crucial to grasping the forces that will define the 21st century, as the world watches a new chapter in aviation and geopolitics unfold before our eyes. China's quest to become an aerospace superpower has been decades in the making, with the C919 as its crown jewel. Developed by Comac, the C919 is designed to rival Boeing's 737 and Airbus's A320, and is central to China's Made in China 2025 strategy. Despite its ambitions, the C919 has long relied on Western technology, especially for its engines, a vulnerability exposed by trade disputes and sanctions. Past attempts at Sino-Russian aviation collaboration faltered under Western pressure, but now both nations are doubling down on joint engine development. By pooling engineering talent, China and Russia hope to accelerate self-sufficiency, even if it means a tougher, more isolated path. The C919 is no longer just a Chinese project, it's a symbol of a rising Sino-Russian technological bloc. On November 18, 2025, Chinese and Russian leaders met in Moscow, pledging unprecedented cooperation in high-tech sectors. The centerpiece, Russia's commitment to help China develop a reliable jet engine for the C919. Analysts see this as a green light for Russian aerospace firms to provide critical support, insulating the C919 from Western sanctions. This pact is the culmination of years of strategic alignment, translating political rhetoric into real industrial cooperation. The timing is key. China wants to ramp up C919 production and win global orders, but Western-made engines have been a bottleneck. With Russia's expertise, China sends a message to the global south, a new alternative to Boeing and Airbus is emerging. This isn't just about engines, it's about building a new geopolitical reality. The Moscow Pact marks a turning point in the global balance of power. Brussels reacted with immediate anger to the Moscow Pact, seeing it as a direct threat to EU economic and strategic interests. The partnership undermines Western sanctions on Russia and threatens Europe's prized aerospace industry, especially Airbus. With Russian expertise, the C919 could become a formidable global competitor, eroding Europe's market share and technological edge. The dual-use nature of jet engine technology raises security concerns, as advancements could benefit Russian and Chinese military programs. The EU's options for retaliation are limited, its economic ties to China are deep, making broad sanctions risky. European leaders now face the prospect of two major rivals joining forces to dismantle the order from which Europe has long benefited. The anger in Brussels is mixed with anxiety about Europe's future in a rapidly changing world. The EU is left watching as its influence wanes. The Russia-China alliance is driven by mutual need and shared grievances, not ideology. Western sanctions have isolated Russia, making China an indispensable partner. For China, Russia is a hedge against US containment. The C919 project is a perfect synergy. Russia brings engine expertise, China brings capital and market scale. Both nations aim to build a sanction-proof industrial base, especially in strategic sectors like aerospace and semiconductors. Their partnership extends to energy and agriculture, with trade increasingly conducted in yuan and ruble. challenging the US dollar. Politically, both oppose the US-led order, advocating for a multipolar world and building coalitions through groups like SCO and BRICS. Every joint project strengthens a parallel economic system, resilient to Western pressure. The C919 collaboration is a powerful symbol of this alternative order. Beyond aerospace, Sino-Russian cooperation is playing out in the shadows, far from the public eye, but with consequences that ripple across the globe. Their focus has shifted to targeting undersea infrastructure, the invisible arteries that are vital to the global economy and modern life. Civilian vessels, often operating under the radar and linked to China and Russia, have been implicated in a series of mysterious incidents, sabotage of pipelines and cables in the Baltic Sea and near Taiwan. These acts, frequently dismissed as mere accidents or technical failures, are in reality calculated provocations. They are designed to probe for weaknesses, test international responses, and disrupt the flow of energy and information. In both 2023 and 2024, multiple high-profile incidents severed gas pipelines and telecom cables, causing widespread outages and economic losses. Investigations have uncovered evidence pointing to deliberate interference, with Chinese and Russian actors suspected. Similar tactics have emerged near Taiwan, where cable disruptions have escalated regional tensions and demonstrated the ability to digitally isolate entire nations, threatening their security and stability. This form of hybrid warfare exploits legal loopholes and security gaps, making it difficult for the EU and NATO to mount a clear and unified response to these ambiguous, deniable threats. The targeting of undersea cables threatens not just governments, but the very foundations of modern society, from global financial markets to the daily communications we all rely on. The competition with Russia and China is now waged on multiple, often unseen, fronts, blurring the lines between peace and conflict, civilian and military. It's a stark reminder that we have entered a new era of global rivalry, where the next conflict may be fought, not just on battlefields, but in the shadows beneath the waves. The Russia-China alliance is reshaping the global chessboard, consolidating a powerful Eurasian bloc opposed to the West. Their collaboration on the C919 is a direct challenge to Western dominance in high-tech industries. This realignment forces nations, especially in the global South, to choose sides, as both blocs court new partners. The Sino-Russian model offers fewer political strings, making it attractive to many countries seeking alternatives to Western suppliers. The security implications are profound. The West now faces two coordinated strategic competitors, complicating defense planning. Shared technology blurs the line between civilian and military domains, fueling a coordinated arms buildup. The battle over the C919 is a microcosm of the larger struggle over the rules and norms that will shape the future. To understand the risks of a world increasingly divided by technology, we spoke with Dr. Alistair Finch, a leading expert on geopolitics and technology. Dr. Finch has spent decades studying the intersection of global power and innovation, and his insights are more relevant now than ever. He warns that the world is rapidly splitting into two incompatible tech ecosystems, one led by the United States, the other by China and Russia. This isn't just about competition, it's about the creation of parallel worlds, each with its own rules, standards, and digital infrastructure. This great decoupling threatens to fragment global supply chains, raise costs for businesses and consumers, and force companies to choose sides, creating a new kind of technological iron curtain. The seamless flow of goods, data, and ideas that once defined globalization is now at risk of being replaced by barriers and suspicion. The C919, a passenger jet built with Russian and Chinese components, is a prime example. It may be incompatible with global maintenance networks, locking countries into rival systems and making international cooperation in aviation more difficult than ever before. Security risks are also on the rise. As mistrust grows, common norms for cybersecurity and artificial intelligence are breaking down, leaving the world more vulnerable to cyber attacks, data breaches, and the misuse of emerging technologies. The arms race will only intensify, as each bloc seeks military advantage through technological superiority. This competition could lead to new, more dangerous forms of conflict, both in cyberspace and on the battlefield. Dr. Finch cautions that this split will make it far harder to solve global challenges like climate change, pandemics, and even economic crises. When nations can't share data or technology, Progress on urgent issues slows to a crawl. The C919 partnership is more than just an industrial strategy. It's a brick in the wall dividing the world, a symbol of how technology can be used to separate, rather than unite. If this trend continues, we're heading toward a more dangerous, less prosperous future, where innovation is stifled and opportunities are lost on both sides of the divide. The stakes couldn't be higher. The choices we make now will shape the future of technology and the world for generations to come. The Russia-China alliance isn't just a distant geopolitical story, it's already reshaping your world. Fragmented supply chains and rival tech standards mean higher prices, fewer choices, and potential shortages in everyday goods. The C919 project is a blueprint for how this division will spread to other sectors, from telecom to green energy. Hybrid warfare targeting undersea cables threatens the digital infrastructure we all rely on. Disruptions could impact everything from banking to healthcare. Understanding these shifts is essential. They'll define the risks and opportunities of the coming decades. The choices made in Moscow and Beijing today will shape the world you live in tomorrow. Paying attention is the first step to navigating turbulent times ahead.